The story kicks off with Alia, a half-Russian knockout everyone obsesses over. Some budget brand Justin Bieber tries to score a lunch date, but she shuts him down like a failing startup. This absolute clown still begs for her digits. Alia tells him she'd literally rather date a grizzly bear than this creepy, mid-tier basement dweller. Everyone is shocked she ghosted the school's golden boy. If he's popular, the bar is low. Alia walks in and greets our resident trash-tier protagonist, Masachika, who is currently cosplaying as a corpse. Her Russian side wins, so she boots him. The idiot admits he stayed up arguing with fellow degenerates about 2D girls. Alia loses it, roasting him for sacrificing his dignity and sleep over literal cartoons. Being a top-tier weeb, he claims that if loving art makes him a moron, he's the king. As he yawns, she curses him out in Russian. He asks for a translation cluelessly. She smirks, telling him she just called him a lonely loser destined for a solo funeral. Then he realizes he's missing his chemistry notes. She pity shares her book with him. During class, he passes out again, so she pokes him into accidentally volunteering like a total chump. The teacher grills him on a question he obviously cannot answer. Alia baits him with a fake answer. He cheers like he just hit the jackpot, but the teacher immediately humbles him. Then Alia drops the actual facts. He sits there, realizing he got played. Embarrassed, he asks her why she's being such a troll. Alia plays the innocent angel card, claiming she was just pointing at the question. He gets frustrated and asks what Russian insult she hurled this time. She smirks and just calls him stupid. Plot twist, this worthless loser actually understands every word. Kid Masachika hung out with a Russian girl's pet and learned the whole language like a bilingual nerd. Now Alia is low-key flirting in Russian, completely unaware he's catching all the vibes. He decides to keep his mouth shut for the entertainment. Later, he pulls out his phone, and Alia instantly narks on him for breaking the school rules. He claims it's a code red emergency because some gacha game is handing out a free waifu. Alia checks the phone and sees some moon goddess character. She questions why the hair color is historically inaccurate. Masachika does not care. He is only focused on her chest. Alia starts feeling a bit petty. She thinks he's simping for pixels, while she's a total thirst trap right in front of him. At lunch, some dude with a receding hairline screams about wanting to be famous. This guy is a literal NPC who won't be relevant in 10 minutes. Anyway, some girls are looking for seats, and the bald guy hopes they choose him. His buddy kills the vibe, saying Alia is already taken according to school rumors. Masachika reminds him that she has standards that he clearly doesn't meet. Yuki notices Masachika's "I'd rather be anywhere else" expression. She asks to join them and the simps immediately fold. Yuki sees his ramen and tells him he's a coward for not making it spicier. Alia gets suspicious and asks how they know each other. Yuki says they've been tight since preschool. Yuki tries to be friendly, but Alia basically warns her that she's a boring person to hang with. The guys bail to avoid the high-tension energy. They can't handle the heat. Yuki leans in and asks him if he's finally over his ego and ready for the student council. He shuts her down faster than a telemarketer. Yuki tells Alia that he was actually a beast of a vice president back in the day. Alia mutters in Russian that she already knew he was secretively capable. Alia seems annoyed that other girls are actually interested in this human sleeping bag. He points out that she's his friend too, which causes her to glitch and walk away. That night, he dreams about his childhood blonde Russian obsession. He remembers learning Russian just to flirt with her, but her name is missing from his brain. Moving on. Next morning, he shows up early to Klein, which is basically a miracle. Alia walks in and assumes he's having a midlife crisis. He notices her socks are soaked and asks if she's been swimming. She says a truck splashed her like she was in a bad rom-com. She asks about the council again, but he'd rather eat glass. She gets flustered, tells him to shut up, and starts stripping her socks off. He freezes like a computer from the 90s. She smirks and orders him to fetch a spare from her locker. He agrees, but then she demands he put it on her foot. She says it's just a tiny favor. Then she whispers in Russian that she's enjoying this. He thinks he's being exploited. He asks for a translation, and she just calls him a wimp. Fine, he grabs her foot to get it over with. Alia panics, he accidentally touches something he shouldn't, and he catches a foot to the face. Now she's giving him the silent treatment. He tries to apologize, but she calls him a foot weirdo in Russian. She quickly backtracks and says she's sorry for the assault. He tells her that taking a kick to the face was actually kind of a win. Horrified by his weirdness, she punches him and bolts. He chases her for 10 minutes like a persistent debt collector. He apologizes with a can of soup, which is the universal peace offering. She speaks in Russian and offers him a sip. He realizes she's basically asking for an indirect kiss. She lies about the translation, thinking she's a master of deception. He knows exactly what's happening. Days later, Takeshi cons him into cleaning the student council room. He hates work, but he's a pushover. Alia appears behind some boxes, looking like she's about to start a fight over their proximity. He realizes Takeshi is just playing matchmaker to mess with them. Alia gets more annoyed and tells him to stop yapping and start scrubbing. Takeshi vanishes, leaving the two of them alone. Alia mutters in Russian, telling him to get closer to her. She thinks he's deaf to the language, so he stays quiet. They finish the job quickly. The president, Kenzaki, walks in and is shocked the room doesn't look like a dump. Takeshi gives him the credit, and the president is impressed. He introduces himself with that main character energy. Kenzaki says everyone has been talking about how special he is. He tries to escape, but Kenzaki bribes him with a free dinner. Later at the diner, Kenzaki officially thanks him for the manual labor. Takeshi brags that Masachika is a god-tier negotiator. Kenzaki sees the potential and tries to recruit him to the council. He says no because he's done his time in that circus. Kenzaki mentions it looks great on college apps, but he'd rather just watch anime and be a total vegetable. Takeshi keeps pushing him to run for president like they did in the old days. He gives a hard pass on that. Kenzaki drops the bomb that Alia is also entering the race. He looks at her and she confirms she's going for the crown. Then the food saves them from the awkwardness. After the meal, the group splits up. He walks Alia home like a decent human being. He asks if she's serious about the election, but she just ghosts the question and walks off. He goes home and finds his sister, Yuki, reading trashy romance on his couch. Surprise, Yuki is his sister, playing a weird game of pretend to make Alia's jealousy skyrocket for the plot. Next morning, she drags him to the mall for food. She wants a movie, he says no, so they hit a clothing store. He asks why she's acting so weirdly normal. She says Alia is stalking them, so the sister act is over. Yuki greets her with fake warmth. Alia pretends she was just passing by for shopping. Yuki invites her to a spicy lunch. Alia, who can barely handle mild salsa, says she's a pro. Yuki picks a place that basically serves liquid fire. He warns her that she's going to regret this. Thinking he's gatekeeping, Alia commits to the bit. The shop looks like a portal to hell. They order the pain. Yuki teases her by saying she was in his bed earlier wearing his shirt. Alia glares and he nearly chokes on his water. He explains that she just jumps on the bed, but Alia isn't buying it. The ramen arrives looking like radioactive waste. They eat it easily, but Alia is dying inside. She pretends she's fine, but he hears her Russian soul screaming for help. He tells her to quit, but she's too stubborn. Yuki adds even more hot sauce. Alia takes another bite to protect her honor. She immediately loses her mind and sprints out. He finds her in a park and offers ice cream to save her tongue. He asks why she even wants the president's job. She gives a vague answer about testing herself. He says she needs a partner to win. She claims she'll just pick a random name from a hat. Then she whispers in Russian that she wants him. She asks him to help her pick out some clothes. He agrees because they're friends. She thinks he's just pitying her. She tries on outfits to impress him but gets shy. He tells her she looks like a smoke show. She keeps trying dresses, and his compliments actually boost her confidence. She decides to go for something a bit more revealing. She poses, but it's Yuki standing there, not him. She dies of embarrassment and hides behind the curtain. The train ride home is full of awkward silence. They reach her stop and say their goodbyes. She realizes they both live in the same neighborhood. She gets home and is tackled by her sister, Masha. Masha can smell the drama on her. Alia says it was fine, but Masha isn't buying it. She teases her about having a massive crush. Alia denies it, but her face says otherwise. She hates lazies. Flashback to a Russian project where she did all the work while her team slacked off. She planned it perfectly, but they didn't even care. A blonde girl stole her work, and